we got some things to talk about, if I will. It's time to just let everybody come on up in here because we about to get that healed truth and nothing but the healed truth, so help you God. On this late night healed truth session. I like these late night healed truth sessions. I think this is probably going to be the norm from going forward because you let all the news finally get all out throughout the day, and then you can collect everything and get everything situated, you know, and be able to talk about everything that's happening. So we got a lot to talk about. We'll be starting momentarily. Just enjoy this intro music right now because the shit is fire. Gotta let it slow burn real quick. Gotta let it slow burn. Gotta let everybody up in this piece real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, grab a chair, get your popcorn ready. You know, grab your snack. You know what I mean? Put your Netflix show on in the background. Turn it down real low, because you know we about to turn up in this Heal Truth Live. That's what we always do. That's what we always do. You feel me? So we about to get ready. We get started up in here. So you know, hit that like button, share, tweet, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you do, whatever your thing is, you go ahead and do it and share, because we about to talk about a lot of things up in here today. Because a lot of things need to be discussed. A whole lot of things need to be discussed. And Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be the core focus today. Obviously with other things that you see for the title page. So let me go ahead and get everything you know, situated real quick, and then we'll be able to start. You know, we'll be able to start.
They're combing the streets.
All right, y'all. It's about that time. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Of course, I had to pull this up first. We're gonna have to get this on out of the way before we talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 and what's really looking like going to be the launch titles, or the launch window, or the launch year titles for the Nintendo Switch 2, potentially for a lot of things that that we have been shown. Obviously, we're going to talk about, you know, the situation with the Rise of the Ronin, of course, Princess Peach Showtime, and of course, Dragon Dogma 2, when it relates to people hyping up games and having expectations for games and not really believing what you see. And also, you know, the aftermath of what, you know, the Metacritic review scores, as you can see on your screen right now, of that. Of course, if you haven't seen the Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero trailer and gameplay, we're going to go over that. If you haven't seen the Marvel 1943 trailer, tech demo, and gameplay demo, we're going to go over that as well. Also, we're going to hit a little bit on the NPD sales that came out also today. There's some very interesting things about the NPD sales that came out today that we need to discuss. Once again, your EmpBruh was right again for the millionth time about certain situations, like I always do, because I speak nothing but the gospel, man. I speak nothing but the gospel, which means it is the truth and nothing but the truth. Not my side, not my truth, not side of the truth, not an opinion. It's a fact. When I speak the gospel, it's a motherfucking fact. That's what people need to understand. But we're gonna go over that as well. Also, we're gonna go over the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. I think next gen is finally arriving. Finally arriving. We definitely need to talk about that. 4 years into these damn consoles, next generation is finally fucking arriving, which is ridiculous. But I guess we could start off with this situation here. Let's go ahead and just talk about Rise of the Ronin. Let's go ahead and just talk about Princess Peach Showtime. Let's go ahead and just talk about Dragons Dogma 2 and the whole review situation that went down. They got a lot of people crying a lot of motherfucking tears. A lot of people making a lot of excuses. A lot of people basically not accepting reality. And as you can see, Dragon Dogma 2 ended up with an 87. Peach Showtime ended up with a 75. Rise of the Ronin ended up with a 76. Now, the thing about this is that this does not surprise me one bit. I am not shocked by these review scores for these three games. If you didn't know, all three of these games will be releasing at midnight. So if you want one of them, go ahead. That is Dragon Dogma 2 is multi-plat. Of course, Princess Peach is exclusive to Nintendo Switch, and Rise of the Ronin is exclusive to the PlayStation 5. But the situation here that we got to talk about is expectations. You know, some people have expectations that just doesn't meet reality, and you see that a lot out of the rabid Sony fanboys. The expectations are a little bit too high for what they actually see. And when I first talked about Rise of the Ronin, and I was labeled as a hater once again because I just speak the facts and I speak the gospel, I said it did not look particularly well. And then once I found out who was actually developing it, it did not shock me that the game looked the way it did. Now we got to say one thing here is that Rise of the Ronin, we're gonna hit on Rise of the Ronin first, and then we're gonna save the actual two good games for the next two. Let's get the bad game out of the way first. Rise of the Ronin, if you didn't know, is developed by Team Ninja. Team Ninja is known for the Ninja Gaiden series. Team Ninja is known for a couple of titles recently over the last 5 to 6 years. Team Ninja is also known for Metroid Other M, you know, the Metroid game that people hate so fucking much, which I didn't think was even really that bad. I actually liked Metroid Other M, but it was kind of a step down from what people were expecting from a Metroid game and what people were expecting from Team Ninja. As you can see, Team Ninja, Rise of the Ronin, 100 reviews, 76 score. Now, the problem is with this is that we got so many people that hyped up this game to be more than it was ever going to be. That's the problem. And the thing we have to realize is, and I'm coming to the realization myself about it, is that Team Ninja ain't what they used to be. And it's hard for me to say that because Team Ninja, back a couple of generations ago, they were one of the best developers, definitely one of the best developers in the action genre. So to see how Team Ninja has kind of regressed and not progressed is kind of alarming, because the thing about it with Team Ninja, and one of the biggest arguments that was going on online about Rise of the Ronin, was that the graphics were terrible, or they were, some people called PS3 graphics, even though I think that was an over exaggeration. Rise of the Ronin was not a pretty game at all. just to put it ever so not so nicely. But the problem with Rise of the Ronin was, it had, and I ain't gonna say it has one of the worst art directions I've ever seen in a third person game I've ever. One of the worst art directions ever for an RPG game. On top of that, one of the worst art directions ever for a game that's supposed to be the next big thing. And a lot of people try to hype it up to be the next big thing, but the thing is, it just never really turned out to be that. They hyped it up to be something that it was never going to be in the first damn place. And that's kind of what bothers me about some fanboyism about that. And now we've seen people, come out here, be on the internet, damage controlling, making up excuses, try to call bias, all this and all that. But the fact of the matter is, Team Ninja just don't have the juice anymore. And they haven't had the juice in a long, long time. And I'm only saying this simply because I used to really love Team Ninja. I mean, all those Dead or Alive. Team Ninja used to be known for the people that definitely had the best graphical looking games. Back in Ninja Gaiden Black, all the Dead or Alive games, but they was on point. They was on point. A little bit freaky, but they was on point back then. So to come to where they're at now, to where we see games that are just not full blown. I think the problem with Team Ninja is they haven't really advanced past 2 generations ago. I think that's where the issue is. Their games play, and now they look like 2-generation old games. That's their situation is. I hate to really compare them to this company, but I think Team Ninja has the same syndrome that Game Freak has. Game Freak has it a lot worse than Team Ninja. Trust me, believe me when I say this. I'm not trying to say Team Ninja is Game Freak. Game Freak is on a whole nother bottom barrel of the fucking level. But it seems to be some development studios just can't progress with the times. And Team Ninja seems to be one of those studios. I mean, on the innovation level, they haven't really done much. On the visual level, they haven't really progressed from where it was before. And they used to be one of, like I said, they used to be one of the best developers that really put on visual spectacles for games. As you can see, some of the footage of Rise of the Ronin, it's the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen. Like, you have one scene that probably looks good, and the other scene looks like something that just running on the Xbox 360. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know much about the inner workings of Team Ninja. If they actually lost some talent along the way, people maybe left, people may retired, maybe they laid off a few people. I don't know. I feel like this can't be the same group of developers that made other classics that we are used to be accustomed to. But they do have a Game Freak effect going on, where it's like just like one of the biggest things about Rise of the Ronin that people like to talk about, that the reviewers like to talk about, that just came out, is that it's a very inconsistent game. It's a game that's all over the place, and that's pretty much what Game Freak suffer from right now. Their games are all over the place. Also, on top of that, their games are fucking broken to shit. They can't make a modernized game to save their fucking life, and it seems like Team Ninja is now in that same boat. Now, what I want to say about this is that I hope Team Ninja gets it together. I hope they come back and rise to glory, because they were one of my favorite developers. And basically their last few releases just ain't hit the mark. It just hasn't hit the mark. And I kind of felt like this game wasn't going to hit the mark, simply because it kind of came out of nowhere, and it really wasn't something they showed early. It wasn't hyped up. From the company side, it really wasn't hyped up. Of course, the fanboys take anything that's exclusive and, turn it up to fucking maximum 0 to 100. That's what they do. But from the company side and Sony side, they really wasn't pushing this game as much. I mean, even Stellar Blade was getting pushed way more than Rise of the Ronin, and we didn't see much of the game until we got closer to the review time. And then once I saw the previews come out and they wasn't really overly glowing like Dragon Dogma 2 was, or like Princess Peach was, I knew the writing was already on the wall for Rise of the Ronin. And it's kind of unfortunate because the PS5 is dry as fuck this year. It's going to be dry as fuck all the way to April 2025. So you kind of wanted something to really justify your purchase for a PS5. And I don't think a single A game justifies your purchase of a PS5. Now, here's the other thing about it. How well will Rise of the Ronin sell? I have no idea. PlayStation fans seem to be very picky about what the fuck they buy. And, some things you think should really do well, and they doesn't. Some things you think that shouldn't do well does pretty decently. That's outside of your God of War or Spider-Man per se. So they Team Ninja expects to sell 5 million copies of this game, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't fucking happening. that ain't happening. Not on the same day that Dragon Dogma 2 comes out. It's not happening, Team Ninja. I don't know why y'all had that expectation level anyway. You know the quality of your game. You knew what the quality of your game was. So to have the expectation level to be exclusive to PS5, it was not happening. Maybe if you was on PS5 and PC, maybe you had a chance to get that, but you're definitely not getting that on PS5 alone. Hell, we just found out that Helldivers 2 sales for the debut month, 60% was on Steam. So PlayStation players ain't even fucking buying Helldivers 2 at this point. So I mean, why would you have that expectation anyway? There has been no proof so far that PlayStation 5 owners are going to sell out and buy PlayStation 5 exclusives. And the main reason we have no data to show that is because the fucking system barely has any exclusives. So that's half of the damn problem. So but yeah, we got to get some of these developers, they got to get up to speed. Team Ninja, whatever you got to do, get it together. I like competition in the action genre space. Yes, it's been dominated by Platinum Games for the last almost 20 years now. It's getting close to 20 years. In 4 years, it'll be 20 years, because I believe that's what the year Bayonetta came out was 08. Oh, was it 09? It was it might have been 2010. I might be a little bit ahead of myself. But Platinum Games has been dominating the action genre ever since Bayonetta 1 came out. Nobody has touched them. Nobody has come close to them. It's night and day when it comes to action games. Platinum Games is head and shoulders above everybody fucking else, period. So I want to see more competition in the action genre. So I need Team Ninja to get it together, because I want to see them do good. I want to see them do good, but unfortunately, if you're going to do good, you got to get off this PS5 exclusivity bullshit. But I think y'all do that anyway, simply because I think y'all want to hit that 5 million sales, and you're not going to hit that on PS5. Yeah, I think they know that. I think they know that that they're not going to hit that. So Rise of the Ronin ends up being a huge disappointment. For the hype level and expectation level, what people thought it was going to be, what people wanted it to be, and what people really, really thought it was not. But what was is your girl. Now, I see some people trying to compare the two, Rise of the Ronin and Princess Peach Showtime. And I'm just going to say this. When you get to the point where you're taking one of the most hyped exclusives for a brand new console and you're comparing them to a C-tier Nintendo franchise, you already lost, my guy. you already lost. Okay, you're lost in the sauce, and you know where to go. Princess Peach Showtime is on the same level as Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Yoshi's Crafted World, stuff like that. We knew the game was just going to be a solid game. It was not going to be something that was going to be game of the year. There was not going to be some revolutionary genre-defying game. It's fucking Princess Peach, for crying out loud. It's like expecting WarioWare to win a fucking Game of the Year award or something. That was just not going to be the case. Nintendo fans going into this game, we knew exactly what it was going to be. We knew exactly what we was going to get, and we knew exactly what type of game it was going to be. And something that was going to be revolutionary was just not part of the situation. That's not what this was going to be. It was not going to be that. Princess Peach Showtime absolutely hit on exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a game that's probably going to average between the 75 and the 80. I thought it was going to be a game that was going to be extremely easy to play, which people confirmed. I thought it was going to be a game that basically was going to have a lot of personality to it, and it's something that's going to be charming about it. It's Princess Peach. She's like the first lady of the fucking video game world. So you can't do anything really edgy with her. You can't really do anything outrageous with her. You can't really do anything, crazy with her. So Princess Peach Showtime ends up showing exactly what it should be. Something that you might want to play in a short little sprint and complete, and just be happy that she finally got her own solo outing. And I do have to applaud Nintendo for doing this, because a lot of characters did get their due on the Switch. They got their chance to shine, and the fact of the matter is that they put a lot of marketing into this game. There's no other game coming out around close to this game, so they're expecting this game to do pretty well, and to be honest with you, I think it is going to do pretty well. When it comes to the sales of all three of these games, I think Dragon Dogma obviously is going to sell more because it's on more platforms than Princess Peach Showtime, but it would not shock me if Princess Peach outsells Rise of the Ronin. At this point, I'm kind of like expecting it, to be honest with you. I don't expect Rise of the Ronin to even be anywhere near Princess Peach sales. And the thing is, I think Nintendo is going to use this game to really use it as a gauge to see if there's a future for her in her games. But the thing is, it's like, I was on the fence about this game because obviously the game is not for everybody. I did play the demo and I did enjoy the demo. The level of the soy fighter, I did not enjoy that, easy bake oven fucking level. That shit was bullshit. I didn't like that level at all. But that sword fighting level was pretty fire. I'm not even gonna lie about that. So I might end up still getting the game just to play through it, just to see potentially where they could probably take Princess Peach at this point in time. But let's be honest. Let's be honest here. The more Nintendo characters that can solidify themselves on their own franchises, the better. Luigi finally did it with Luigi's Mansion. Of course, Donkey Kong did it. Donkey Kong did it a way long time ago when he broke away from Mario after the first game. So, but the more characters that can solidify themselves by themselves, I would like to see it. I would like to see it. And the thing about it, they all have been different experiences, and they all don't. You would think that the games will play similar, but credit to Nintendo for the amazing developers that they are. I don't know how to keep coming up with these ideas for these games. The Mario characters in the Mario universe is so vast, and they just keep coming up with different concepts to make them all different. That's a groundbreaking achievement, to be honest with you. Because we live in a day and age where people just copy and paste every other fucking developer and then just try to make their own spin on it in the story sense of a game, and then there you go, voila, that's where you got. And it just doesn't work like that. So I have to give credit to Nintendo for that. Princess Peach Showtime, I might end up picking that up. And the thing is, I ain't really got a choice if I'm gonna play anything on Switch any damn way. I ain't really got no damn choice because ain't nothing else out. So I mean, I'm not gonna play that trash ass South Park game. So it's like I ain't got no choice until next month. You know what I mean? And I'm not really even feeling Endless Ocean like that either. So yeah, I'm ready for the second half of Nintendo Switch 2024. I'm waiting on the Metroid Prime 4 because I can't. I'm for me. I'm a little bit underwhelmed right now. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Some of y'all, y'all like the Mario versus Donkey Kong. Y'all like the Another Code, and I didn't give two shits about any of those games. You know what I mean? That's nice that they wanted to remake Mario and Donkey Kong. That's cool. I didn't care for it. The original, I didn't care for it that much, so I didn't care for the remake that much either. So Princess Peach was the next thing. If I didn't play that demo, I definitely would not be considering playing this game because it just doesn't appeal to me. You know what I mean? It's great you getting the kiddos into it. It's great that you're getting the female gamers into it. I'm pretty sure this would be a big hit with all the female gamers and all the female streamers. I'm pretty sure it would be a big hit. If they can make Princess Peach into a female gaming icon, then so be it. Then so be it. I bet they would absolutely love that. Nintendo would absolutely love if they could do something like that and get that accomplished. So now we got to go on to the other game. The game that I am excited to play, the game that I am absolutely, positively buying out of all three. And that's Dragons Dogma 2. Now, I was a little bit on the fence because the first one I barely played because I kind of skipped it, went back, tried to play it a little bit. And it was cool. I did not finish that one at all because I went back to it very late, way late after it came out, when people, was talking positively about it and all that stuff. So, but man, after seeing everything that happens in Dragon Dogma 2, I'm definitely picking this up. Capcom has been on a terror over the last couple of years. Capcom has been on a roll over the last couple of years. And I can say this without a shadow of a doubt right now. The best three developers in gaming for the last maybe 10 to 15 years has definitely been Nintendo, Rockstar, and Capcom, respectively, in that order. You cannot name me not one developer that has been better than Nintendo, better than Rockstar, and better than Capcom in the last 15 years. And that's saying something. That's consistency at a high level. That's producing quality at a high level. That's basically putting shit on lockdown at a high level. If you just look at what Capcom has done, of course, with Monster Hunter World, and then, Monster Hunter Rise, and they got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. Even before that, with Monster Hunter 4, all the Monster Hunters that was on 3DS were amazing. Of course, Resident Evil 7, and then Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake. Now Dragon Dogmas 2. They really been on a crazy roll, man. A crazy roll. And the thing is, Capcom was really kind of teetering a little bit before that that Wii era, and they was teetering just a little bit. A lot of people are going back and they love Resident Evil 5 now, but trust me, when Resident Evil 5 was out at that time, people were shitting on Resident Evil 5, believe it or not. if you was gaming back at that time when Resident Evil 5 came out on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, people were shitting on Resident Evil 5. I don't know why. I bought that on launch. I love the co-op. It was great. It's probably one of the, I don't know how to say this, because there were co-op games before Resident Evil 5, but man, look at this shit. This Dragon Dogma shit looks so incredible. You can see the Monster Hunter inspiration here in Dragon Dogma. So I really want to play as the sorcerer vocation, or I think is it sorcerer? Yeah, it's sorcerer, and then I don't know if it's magician or not. I think it's sorcerer. I just like casting spells and just causing fucking chaos. But back then, people really shitted on Resident Evil 5 really hard. They had one valid reason they were for shitting on Resident Evil 5 because they killed fucking Wesker, which was fucking stupid. It's still one of the dumbest decisions Capcom has ever made in their fucking careers. But the second thing is, they really felt like Resident Evil 5 really strayed away from where Resident Evil 4 took the series and made it more action game, with the co-op and stuff. But the game was more action oriented, but it still had that survival horror feel to it, especially when you're playing with Chris Redfield and Homegirl. I forgot her damn name already. Damn, she's like a forgettable character, bro. She's like a forgettable character. Damn, what was her name? Shit. Oh man, that's terrible. I don't remember her fucking name. But anyway, the beautiful chick that was in Resident Evil 5. But yeah, people shitted on Resident Evil 5 pretty hard when it first came out because it did stray away from what Resident Evil 4 did. But it was a good experience for it was. Seeing Wesker bring back Jill Valentine, that's still one of the biggest moments in gaming history. Chris Redfield punching a fucking boulder. It's like we doing fucking ridiculous shit in Resident Evil 5 that stands the test of time. But the fact of the matter is, I say all this simply because they teetered a little bit at that point, but then they got the shit back on track. You know what I mean? Shout out to Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. Shout out to Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles, both Wii games exclusive. Those were even good. So they realized they had to do something and do it well. And I believe it all started really with Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii. That's when they really turned the page and they really cranked the shit up to 100 and never looked back. So Dragon Dogma 2 looks like it's going to be right up my alley. It's something I really want to play, really want to get into. Especially after Tears of the Kingdom. Unlike y'all, I can't play big, massive open world RPGs back to back like that. That's just too much fucking time on my hands. I don't have that much time. I have to spread out my RPGs. If RPGs come out back to back, when it comes to me, something's going to get skipped. I'm not even going to lie. Something's going to get skipped. That happened with me with SMT5. I had to skip that motherfucker. I'm sorry, I had to skip it and I had to go back and play it a little bit later. But I can't have open world, especially open world RPGs back to back like that. It's hard. I know when I play this, it's going to take some time to getting used to because Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom has absolutely ruined open world games. is kind of a travesty what they have done to the open world genre. It's hard to play open world games after Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because to have that level of freedom in an open world game and then play another open world game and you feel really fucking restricted. I mean, really fucking restricted, to the point that you just don't. It takes the immersion out of the game, whatever you're playing. I felt that way when I played Elden Ring. It's just like the standard of open world games have been set by Breath of the Wild, and then it had been raised even higher by Tears of the Kingdom. So it's very hard. That's one thing I'm a little bit worried about playing Dragon Dogma 2, but I'm definitely still going to get it, because as you can see, this shit still looks beastly gameplay wise and the combat wise. But it's really, really hard to adapt after playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom to open world games, simply because the sense of I can see it, I can get to it, and the sense of the high level of detail and interactivity in the world is really hard to break yourself away from that immersion and that imagination of, you know, using the world that you're in to accomplish tasks that you're doing in the game. So it's and that made it 10 times harder with Tears of the Kingdom, where you could basically think of anything and you could fucking make it. And that was just ridiculous for Nintendo to even come up with that concept, and it worked out of the gate, and it did not break. So Zelda has completely ruined open world games, bro. It takes some adjusting to. I remember when playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it took me a while to adjust after playing Breath of the Wild. It took me a while to adjust. Luckily, you know, the way they crafted Xenoblade Chronicles 3 open world, it didn't feel as restrictive. But it was still more restrictive than Breath of the Wild. So after playing Tears of the Kingdom, and then you get all this other tools and interactivity to fuck with in the open world, then you get 3 open worlds with Skyrule, Hyrule, and the Depths. It's like, I don't even know what developers are going to fucking do at this point when it comes to open world games. They might as well just stop making them so much, because it's so fucking difficult to play open world games after you play those 2 fucking masterpieces, those 2 goats, those 2, the number 1 and number 2 greatest game of all time. It's very, very, very difficult. So I like when I see open world games do something different. That's why I like what I see out of Dragon Dogma 2. That's why I want to play it. Everything I've seen so far has been great. The only thing I'm a little bit nervous about is that, you know, they say they kind of just and this is a really debatable topic amongst a lot of gamers and shit. It's like they don't like games to hold their hand. And then some people just, you know, like me, I'm just kind of used to the waypoints and just put the dot on the map and let me fucking get there. I'll find out how to get to where I need to be. So when games kind of give you no actual direction to your objective, it can be a polarizing experience if you're not used to it. But me, I'm still kind of adjusting to it too much. I don't need the game to really hold my hand, but I do want to. I like to have waypoints or a point on the map that says this is the area you need. This is the vicinity you need to go into. So I am an advocate for that. I am on that side of the train, on that side of the grass with those people. But, you know, it still looks like an incredible game, and I'm definitely going to pick that up. The pawn situation in Dragon Dogma 2 looks really cool. I actually am glad that this game is not co-op. It's a single player experience, because I think if it was co-op, it'll feel too much like Monster Hunter. So kudos to Capcom to making sure Dragon Dogma 2 feels very differently from Monster Hunter, but have some similarities to Monster Hunter. So I do like that about that. And shout out to the chat. Yeah, I think Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are definitely the Kobe and Michael Jordan of games. That's a great way to explain that. That's a great way to explain that situation when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So the year starts off, starts off pretty decently. You had, you had Tekken 8, which was one of their major releases. Helldivers 2 has been a success for the PC crowd, even though it wasn't really made for the PC crowd. Dragon Dogma 2 comes out and, does this thing. I forgot about Final Fantasy Rebirth, but fuck Final Fantasy Rebirth. Yes, I did say fuck Final Fantasy Rebirth. Only for the simple fact that I don't like the business model Square Enix is imploring with Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is releasing a game in multiple parts. That shit is bullshit, is anti-consumer, is not a business practice, it's not something I want to see as a normality in gaming. So fuck Final Fantasy VII Remake and fuck Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for that specific reason only. Because we don't want to set a precedent for anything like that. And the fact of the matter is that after seeing the Insomniac leaks and we seen Insomniac was still planning to release another Spider-Man game in multiple parts, this is the kind of shit that we don't need to start happening. So that's why you don't hear me talk about Final Fantasy Remake. Final Fantasy VII, one of the greatest games of all time on PlayStation. Had it on PlayStation 1. It great, one of the GOATs. Not gonna deny that. But I do not like the idea of releasing games in multiple parts. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You're not going to sell me the same game at full price in multiple parts. You're not doing it. And I wish more gamers would stand up for that, because obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake has been successful. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did take a little bit of a dive, and I'm actually kind of happy about that, only because I don't want that business model to become a regular thing. It's not good for gaming. It's not good for gaming to do something like that. It's an anti-consumer practice. You're not gonna end up charging me 3 times fold, well, kind of 4 times fold for the same game. It's just not. This is one of the things I talked about in my last live stream, in my last Hill Truth Live. This ain't fucking Hollywood. We don't need multiple parts. This is not fucking Lord of the Rings. This is not the fucking Avengers. This is gaming. We don't need multiple parts. You know what I mean? You could have remade that game and put it all into one. And I think they released a twin pack, if I'm not mistaken, when Rebirth came out. So that's more evidence that you could have did it any fucking way. Final Fantasy VII was on like 7 fucking discs in the first goddamn place. You could have did that again, and still, I would have been happy with that. But this releasing games in multiple parts over and over again is just as bad as doing a remaster for a 3-year-old game. Like, that shit is just fucking stupid. Like, you can't call the shit a remaster if the game is 3 years old. Let's be fucking for real. That's the biggest. Next to Square Enix releasing the game in multiple parts, remastering a 3-year-old game has to be the biggest fucking cash grab, swindling and dealing bullshit I've ever seen a gaming studio ever pull. And of course, PlayStation fanboys, being the gullible fucking twerkers they are, pee-popping on the handstand, they ate that shit up. And it's like, that's just fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm still shocked and appalled that they accepted that shit. You remastered what the fuck is there to the remaster in a 3-year-old game? Just ask yourself that. What the fuck are you remastering in a 3-year-old game? That's the question you got to ask yourself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a whole separate video or live stream on remakes and remasters and the state of that and what it means and what it should mean, because I don't want to get into that on this live stream. But just think of that. Like,
what the fuck are you remastering a 3-year-old game for? Just it blows my mind. But yeah, Dragon Dogma 2 definitely is going to be a pickup. Rise of the Ronin. Sorry, PlayStation loyalists. Better luck for the next game, which is Stellar Blade that comes out next month. Hopefully that fares a little bit better. And Peach Showtime. I will play it. I will definitely be picking it up, but I'm definitely playing Dragon Dogma 2 first. There's no question about that. I'm definitely playing Dragon Dogma 2 first and foremost. And so the next thing we got to talk about is some things that was definitely jaw-dropping that I was not expecting, that came from GDC. And that is, the Marvel 1943 announcement on Unreal Engine 5. If y'all haven't seen it, no worries. We're finna watch it right now. We finna watch it right now because it was definitely something that was really, it really shocked me. And this is the segment where we got to talk about Next Generation has finally fucking arrived. 4 years. 4 years after these consoles have launched, we are finally getting games that are supposed to look like games that are running on PS5 and Xbox Series X, and soon to be Nintendo Switch 2. And we're about to get into that in a second. So, and I will say this. I will say this. This was a little bit surprising to me. Simply because, we seen Grand Theft Auto 6, and that was jaw-dropping as fuck. Especially, the torque physics in that game. Lord have mercy, the torque physics in that game was definitely something to behold. But yeah, that was jaw-dropping as hell. But then it just keeps getting crazier. Dragon Dogma 2 looks incredible. And now we're seeing Marvel 1945 looks incredible. Also, Dragon Ball Z looks incredible. We're going to talk about that after the Marvel one here. So, I'm trying to find the trailer. For some damn reason, the goddamn trailer is not. This is going to be fucking annoying. I see this already. For some goddamn reason, the trailer, leave it to Marvel to do some shit like this. Lord have mercy, this is stupid. For some damn reason, the trailer is in theater mode. So, I'm not even gonna be able to show this shit to y'all. What the fuck? Are you serious right now? Y'all ain't serious. I think they are serious. Nobody has a normal size trailer of this fucking game. Y'all kidding me right now. Nah, they not kidding me. Everybody got this trailer in this ultra wide fucking setting. Why the fuck do they have it like this? This is fucking retarded, man. Like, why they got this like this? I can't even. None of the trailers are in standard. Oh, this is annoying as hell. This is annoying as hell. So, give me a second. We're gonna look at this. But, yeah, GDC 2024. They revealed a lot of stuff on the updated Unreal Engine 5. Obviously, Unreal Engine 5 running everything for next gen consoles only. And we are definitely seeing the leap. We're definitely seeing what we were supposed to see 4 years ago. And I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that for the simple fact that it's time to leave the Xbox One and the PS4 behind. They drug down the Xbox Series X and the PS5 long enough. And it's time to move on to, they really don't have a standard trailer for this fucking thing. And this shit was incredible, by the way. I'm not even gonna lie. This was really incredible. It was really, really good. The trailer was good. The tech demo was good. It's being held by the former lead of Uncharted series from Naughty Dog, so I have high expectations for this game, even though I didn't know the game was actually going to be what it is. Shockingly. So, yeah. So, thinking about that, it's good to see that everybody seems to be moving on Unreal Engine 5. And the thing about it is, I think I finally found one. Finally, good God, y'all. We finally got the thing going. It took a while. It took way longer than it should to find this damn thing. But the thing I like about it is we're finally getting experiences that are exclusively made for the Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and the PS5. Something we should have had 2.5 years ago. So if y'all ain't seeing this, we're all about to watch this together. It's pretty jaw-dropping. This is all in-game. To quote your girl Amy, she said, "No smoke and mirrors. This is all Unreal Engine 5, in-game, running on whatever platform." For some reason, they didn't say which platforms this game is on, but we're about to get into that in a second. But first, we definitely have to watch this because this is pretty good. So I'm gonna play this. So if you haven't seen it, you're about to see some incredible shit. If you have seen it, doesn't matter. You're gonna watch it again. I'm pretty sure you don't mind watching it again anyway. So yeah. And shout out to Blandrew. Fuck Super Monkey Ball, but that's for another day. So let's watch this Marvel 1943 Rise of the Hydra trailer. Rise of the Hydra trailer. So yeah, let's see what this is. Let's see this epicness again.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
The graphics are just incredible.
I'll be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful. Stand beside me.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem.
Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of
Like,
things,
I can't believe
he's
this is
not very
in
far
game,
ahead.
y'all.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone.
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
You can't tell me that wasn't fire, boy. You can't tell me that wasn't fire. Now here's the crazy thing about this. Now, I don't watch that thing at least like 20 times. That's supposed to be in game of Unreal Engine 5. Now, I know Unreal Engine 5 Unreal Engine has always amazed every generation. Every generation has always amazed, but how that look right there is just it's just something just crazy. It's just crazy to really think about how that is right there. It's just, if we just look back at this, right, and we just look at the facial animations in this thing here.
Who the hell?
Never mind the detail on the clothes and everything, the environments, the facial animations. Just look at that. Crazy.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way.
That's just insane. We have never seen facial animations like that before.
From anyone.
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
That's fire. That's fire. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. That's just fire. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Now, some people may be like, oh, that's probably on PC, whatnot, yada yada yada, you know, shit like that. But I have a theory here about a couple of things, especially when it comes to this game. But before we do that, I definitely want to talk about the other game. And if you haven't seen the other game, I want to show that as well. Yeah, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. That's my guy. Before we go into detail about Marvel 1943, I want to show the other game. The other game being Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So, all the Dragon Ball Budokai fans stand up. This was actually pretty shocking to wake up to and see. I'm not even gonna lie, it was pretty shocking to wake up and see this. So if you haven't seen the new Dragon Ball trailer, never fear, because we're gonna watch it, because it was that damn good. It was that damn good. It was actually a whole 12 to 15 minute presentation they put on, but the trailer it does enough. Now, if y'all play Dragon Ball Z Budokai series on the PS2, and of course it was also on the Wii, the later ones. Tenkaichi was actually on the Wii. I think 3 was on the Wii too, if I'm not mistaken. Was 3 on the Wii? I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I know Tenkaichi was on the Wii. I don't know if Dragon Ball Budokai 3 was on. You know, that was only PlayStation. I remember playing that on PlayStation because I used to play with Cell all the fucking time. So Cell was my guy Cell was my guy in Dragon Ball Budokai 3. But yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi, that was I had that on the Wii. So yeah, if you haven't seen
when you have auto glass
Dragon Ball
damage,
here,
trust safely. This data
we're going to talk about, and we're going to show this because it was that damn good. It was that damn good. It definitely seems like they perfected. It seemed like they perfected it. And the funny part about it is this also runs on Unreal Engine 5. This also runs on Unreal Engine 5. So let's take a look at this real quick, and then I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on it. You know, I'm trying not to mark out because
I'm a Dragon Ball kid. I grew up on Dragon Ball, and to see how far Dragon Ball games have come, I think we're finally going to get the definitive Dragon Ball experience with this game. So, yeah, we got to watch this one more time.
Full power! You'll soon understand the difference in our power. My speed is unmatched even amongst prime troops.
Just the animation is just crazy.
Keep up with me, kid. This is the true might of a Super Saiyan strength.
A mindless beast like you is nothing but prey to a warrior of light. Now, you're my prey.
How many ladies are all around me? I'm old, yes.
I just like how the environments are this time around.
Creator of the sacred technique. Well then, let playtime begin.
Nappa, oh, that was my guy.
Whether it's this universe or
I like that we have
I'm
more
always
destructive
the fastest.
environments.
I don't think I'm gonna follow your orders for the rest of my life. Size means nothing when you're as quick as me.
Justice prevails. Evil erased. This rampaging monster must be taught a lesson.
Come on, my you're a Ginyu.
Jace was my guy in the Ginyu Force. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to play with him all the time. That was my guy. Oh man, I like. Oh, this is just fucking incredible, y'all. Y'all don't understand. If you're in a Dragon Ball fan, you ain't gonna get it. Oh yeah, boy. Just the graphics and the effects, it's just... I like how the environment really, this time around, is affected by your powers. Like, it's crazy.
Don't think you can enter my crosshairs and just walk away. You cannot win.
I really want to see how it's going to play in the game, too.
Grief. Looks like we've awakened a real bona fide monster.
Man, that's all a Dragon Ball fan dreamed of. That's all a Dragon Ball fan dreamed of, to be honest with you. A game like that is what we dreamed of for so long. That was absolutely incredible. And the reason why it looked incredible is another Unreal Engine 5 game. So once again, I gotta say, Unreal Engine 5 is going to be the definitive engine.
Whoa, the new iPhone 15.
It's going to be the definitive engine coming up
My family out.
for a lot of games. And they showed a fight between... Actually, I'm gonna show y'all that too. Fuck it, we might as well show that too. They showed a fight between Goku and Vegeta after the trailer, and it was really good. It really showed you exactly how. Actually, they showed that before, I believe. They showed that before. I gotta find it real quick. I gotta show you that because it just looked really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna show y'all that. It looked so good. I'm just really shocked at. I'm really shocked at the presentation. I'm really shocked at the destructible environments. I'm really shocked that the level of detail the game still maintains through all this chaos. You really wanted the definitive Dragon Ball experience while playing. This really captures everything that really goes on in the anime, and I'm still blown away. So we gotta watch this. We gotta watch this.
Kakarot, I will defeat you this day.
It's so beautiful. Then he got the dance right out of the movie. It's just.
No, I won't be losing this one.
This is just for every Dragon Ball fan at heart. And that's the first thing I noticed is that you can move a lot faster in this game. Oh. And it's really no fighting game that really puts you in a 3D space like that, so well, I can't really compare it to Soul Calibur, even though they put you in a 3D space, but like this is very hard. And you see how everything affects the environment too? I love that. I love that. The only thing I'm worried about is that with the combat sped up, oh shit, that shit looks so beautiful. With the combat sped up, I wonder if it gets a little bit disorienting to you. So that's a little bit thing I'm a little bit concerned about, but this is the part where I thought was crazy. They powered up and then the environment changed around them. That's my boy Vegeta, bruh. I'm a Vegeta fucking fanatic. This part right here was beautiful. Oh man, that was beautiful. We never had an effect like that in the Dragon Ball game, ever.
Do you want to see what I'm capable of? No hard feelings.
God damn, bro. Look at that. Oh man, so I wonder how long they had this game in development, because this looks almost complete. Even we could deflect and parry beams. We could not do that before. We can deflect and parry beams. Oh man, you don't understand. That's Dragon Ball fans understand. You've been wanting to do that for fucking ever in a game, and we finally be able to do that shit. I love it. I love it. Oh, look, oh, the counters. I love the counters. And the camera does a really good fucking job of keeping up with the character. You see how the environment changed once they got full power? And here's my favorite fucking part here. Oh man, this is my favorite part. Everybody that played Budokai know we used to love this moment in the game, but this takes it to a whole nother level of beam struggle. Oh my god, I love it. I fucking love this shit. It's beautiful. Oh, I love it.
Vegeta, let's go again.
I love it, bro. I fucking love it. I love it, y'all. It's this game is probably gonna be the best Dragon Ball game ever made. It's gonna be the best Dragon Ball game ever made. Beam struggles. They was in one of the Budokai games. I think it was in Budokai 3. When your beams clash, you get the struggle, and you had to rotate the fucking stick. Oh my god. I broke so many PS2 sticks with beam struggles in Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Like, oh man, because you know that you could do beam struggles pretty easily in that game, and you had to I don't know why they made you rotate the sticks though. That anybody that had those DualShock 2s know that plastic on top of them damn sticks were fucking trash. And if you rotated those sticks, that shit was breaking the fuck off. Like, I broke at least 3 controllers rotating the motherfucking stick, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm probably gonna play as Hit, because Hit gonna be a cheat code. I don't even know how you fight against Hit in this game. Like it's gonna be almost fucking impossible. But yeah, to see beam struggles back, to see that we can actually deflect beams, to see the visual effects that you see within the anime series is great. The only thing that concerns me a little bit about Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is how they sped up the game. And yes, Dragon Ball Z is supposed to be fast, but how fast they was moving, it seems like you get a little bit disoriented because you're in this you're in the sky, you're flying, and you're in this 3D big ass 3D space. So, you know, shifting left to right so fast like that can be a little bit disorienting, especially when somebody's trying to attack you. So I'm really interested to see how this works online. I'm really interested to see how, you know, battles in the Budokai games were typically a little bit longer than regular fighting games, but now that I see how this is in action, I'm really expecting fights in this game to last probably longer than any fighting game recently released. If you didn't notice while we was watching, they did skip ahead a little bit. So I'm wondering how long these fights will actually last, if that's actually going to be a good thing or actually going to be a bad thing. Because if you want to capture the spirit of Dragon Ball and you want to capture the essence of Dragon Ball Z, the fights are never really like short. These are not Street Fighter, you know, type of fights, not Mortal Kombat or Tekken short spurts type of fights. These are really some epic fucking battles that are going on in on planets and in space and stuff like that. So it seems like the fights are actually going to take some time to complete, but from a competitive standpoint, playing online, I could see how that could probably be more of a negative thing that could damage the game than actually be a positive thing, even though you're keeping the spirit of Dragon Ball in it. So, because this battle did seem like it took a minute to actually do. So it's like those are only two concerning things I have about that. That fights can probably be drug out a little bit too long. Obviously, people are going to find exploits and cheats some fucking way. You know, people always find a way to cheat, so that's another thing you got to worry about. So, and the roster seems to be huge. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi roster was fucking huge, bro. So, we got to see what they're going to do there. I definitely want to see GT characters. So, fuck all you GT haters. I want to see GT characters. I want to have matchups that we obviously ain't going to ever see. So, I want GT characters in this damn game. I need it. I want it. I want my Super Saiyan 4. I need it. I need it in this game. I need my GT characters in this game, bro. I want to see Omega Shenron. You know, I want to see Baby Vegeta. I want all of them in there. All of them have to be in there. So we need GT characters in there, man. So we got to do that. The only thing I hope is we haven't gotten a release date, which makes me think this is probably going to come out in 2025. Even though it almost looked fully complete right now, but that's the magic of Unreal Engine 5. And we really don't have a feature set of what this game is going to entail. So hopefully, the only thing in Dragon Ball games that have been lacking until recently with Dragon Ball Fighters is online. And if the online is like Dragon Ball Fighters, that would be alright. But I think they need to take it to a whole nother level. Maybe we'll get some surprise with some new type of features in the Dragon Ball game that we never really had before. I don't know, but I want to see GT characters. I want to see some real good shit in here. And yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Oh man, boy. Oof. Yeah, they got to put the GT characters in here, man. I'm not here for the bullshit. I'm not here for the cap. Y'all got to give me the GT characters. I don't want to hear nothing about it. So now that we've seen Marvel 1943, and now that we've seen Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, it's time to really come to the realization on a couple of things. And I say a couple of things simply because I think everything is pointing to this direction. And I think I might be right on this. So I'm going to go out on a huge limb here. I'm going to go out on a huge limb. And I'm going to say the reason the reason we haven't really gotten a lot of solid release dates, and the reason that we haven't gotten platform confirmations for the games that we have seen lately, I think really has to do with pertaining to new hardware coming out. Because obviously we know these games ain't running on Xbox One and PS4. Anybody visually with a two set eyes can definitely see that's not the case. So if we know they're not running on Xbox One and PS4, then obviously it's PS5 and Xbox Series X. So why withhold? Why would you withhold that information from us about what platforms the game is going to be on? And I seriously think it's only one answer to that question. And I think y'all know where I'm going with this. I think I know where I'm going with this. I believe with all my being inside of me, I believe that a lot of the games that have came out and been shown and not have been giving any platforms that it's releasing on, I think they're Switch 2 titles. I 100%, 1000% believe they're Switch 2 titles. And I fully believe 100%, I fully believe 100% that Switch 2 is about to have one of the greatest, one of the most incredible, one of the most spectacular, one of the most star-filled, damn, no point intended there, one of the most star-studded launch lineups in the history of gaming. Simply because I really do feel that a lot of these games are going to be on Nintendo Switch 2 for launch. I believe Marvel 1943 is going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 game. I can guarantee you Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is going to be on the Switch 2. There's no doubt about that. I am willing to bet my life savings that Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be on the Switch 2. People seem to forget Monster Hunter sold the most on Nintendo's platforms. Yes, Monster Hunter was on PS2 first. Yes, Monster Hunter had an extensive history on PSP and PS Vita, but the games weren't selling like that back then. Monster Hunter has sold the most on Nintendo's platforms. And it baffles me that people think Monster Hunter is not going to be on the Switch 2. like they just didn't really make an exclusive Monster Hunter game for Switch, Monster Hunter Rise, and the shit sold 10 million copies. At this point, it will be like Capcom saying, fuck money, we don't want to make any. Like, it's like, it's a no-brainer. So, and the reason I say that is simply because a lot of stuff is pointing to the direction of it being on Switch 2, which is Unreal Engine 5. If a lot of people ain't realized, Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine in itself is being utilized by Nintendo themselves a whole lot more lately than it used to be. Actually, Princess Peach Showtime runs on Unreal Engine. So does Pikmin 4. So does Yoshi's Crafted World. And I also believe Kirby and the Forgotten Land also used Unreal Engine as well. So Nintendo has really adapted Unreal Engine, and Epic has been really, really, really cozy with Nintendo about having Unreal Engine on their platform. We heard the rumor about the Matrix Awakens demo running on the Switch 2, which is Unreal Engine 5. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is Unreal Engine 5. Nintendo is definitely going to be using Unreal Engine 5 on the Switch too. Marvel 1943 is Unreal Engine 5. I think y'all can see where I'm going with this. I think y'all can see where I'm going with this. I have no doubts in my mind that those two games in particular are going to be on Switch 2. I have no doubts in my mind that Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be on Switch 2. I have no doubts in my mind that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be on Switch 2. Now that one is a little bit more of a dance to connect the dots with Switch 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6, but one of the things that you have to look at is Rockstar increasing support on Nintendo's platform, especially on the Switch. That's the most they ever supported a Nintendo platform was the Switch. And the way they went out their way to release Red Dead Redemption on the Switch, which I don't understand why they didn't do Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's for another thing. But I think the Grand Theft Auto trilogy was really the biggest indicator of that. And of course, platforms are already announced for Grand Theft Auto 6. Everybody knows it's going to be PS5, Xbox Series X coming out first. But if you think Rockstar is going to sit back at the potential of making more money, I think you're kind of crazy. And the fact of the matter is, I feel like Grand Theft Auto 6 is really going to be a game that's going to be late 2025. So it wouldn't really shock me if we see Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not going to say at launch. I don't think that's happening. I think they probably was too far in development when Nintendo finally finalized the Switch 2 that there's no way they're going to have it launch day. So I'm willing to bet that it comes out the same time it comes out on PC on Switch 2. If it's there earlier than that, color me surprised. I'm really still under the impression that Nintendo Switch 2 is going to come out anytime between November 2024 of this year and March 2025. I'm pretty sure Grand Theft Auto ain't coming out in that time frame. Grand Theft Auto is probably going to be a September to November 2025 type of release. So with that being said, it's a potential that Switch 2 probably will have Grand Theft Auto 6 before the year of 2025 is over with. Simply because they could have been already started on it and ported it over. And we already, in my last live stream, I went over the specs of the Switch 2 and how I connected the dots of what's actually factual, what's actually made up bullshit. And basically when it comes to porting games over to Switch 2, this is not going to be a situation that's really going to be a hindrance. We talked about DLSS and how all that shit comes into play. If you don't know what that is, watch the last live stream about that, about Switch 2 power. You'll get into that. That also plays a factor in this. So, Grand Theft Auto 6, people kind of feel like it's a stretch, but I really don't. I kind of feel like it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing that's probably going to happen. One thing about it is that a lot of companies really jumped on the Switch late, and some people reap the benefits, Bethesda reaped the benefits because they got there a little bit earlier. Capcom reaped the benefits, even though they got there a little bit later, they reaped the benefits of finally getting on there. And I got to feel like Rockstar reaped some benefits too, even though they got on there a little bit late, they made some money. And Switch is about to be the best-selling console of all time. So with the way Nintendo's positioning this console to be successful, I don't see a lot of third parties not going out their way to make sure they got something on this platform so they can reap the benefits from day one. This is probably going to be the most strategic and most smart console launch in the history of console launching. This is probably why it's taken so long for them to bring the shit out, because they understand that they want to repeat the success of the regular Switch. So they have to do everything in their power to make sure that is the case. So here's what you got to understand. If Nintendo has two, I'm going to just say two because I'm still under the impression that Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on Switch. You're not going to change my mind. They have it on the release schedule. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on Switch. I don't expect that to be a Switch 2 title anymore at this point. I don't expect it to be, I don't even expect it to be a cross-gen title anymore, simply because we kind of almost confirmed, well, kind of really confirmed that backwards capability in the Switch 2 is going to be a thing. So, and they're going to be a point in re-releasing it, since the games are going to be upscaled anyway. So Metroid Prime 4 is, that's definitely going to be a Switch game. Now, here's the thing. Here's what is going to be a cross-gen title. Pokemon. That Pokemon Legends game is going to be a cross-gen title. I know a lot of people are wondering, oh God, they only said it was for Switch. Of course, they can only say it's for Switch when they ain't announced the fucking Switch 2. Of course, they're going to say that. What else they going to say? You know what I mean? If you really believe, and this is the only way possible Nintendo would dare launch a console in the same year as a new Pokemon game and don't have it on it, is that they got to have something bigger and better planned for the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. And there's only a couple of things that's bigger and better for Nintendo when it comes to sales and launching a game over Pokemon. There's only a couple of things. One of those is Zelda, and you're not going to have one of those. The other one is a Mario Kart title, which most likely we might probably going to have that. And that's pretty much it. And the only thing bigger you can have than that is Grand Theft Auto. So I'm really I'm 99% sure that Pokemon Legends game, Legends EA, is going to be a cross-gen title with the Switch 2. And if they launch with a Pokemon game, it's a done deal, bro. It's a done deal. The Switch 2 is going to be off to the races. And then they got to come. We're due for a 3D Mario game. And then we're due for a Mario Kart game, which they just ended Mario Kart 8 support. So, I mean, that game was out for 10 fucking years, people. 10 years on the same Mario Kart is asinine, but it did not feel dated, which is so crazy. I guess it has to do with all the DLC they gave you. So just picture this. Just picture this. And you need to put yourself in a mind frame of a third-party developer. Put yourself in a mind frame of a third-party developer here. Picture this. Nintendo is launching a new console. I'm pretty sure you already know Unreal Engine 5 is a go, because they're using it themselves. So anybody that has Unreal Engine 5 game, go right ahead. So picture this. Switch 2 next year launches, and this is just for the launch window of the whole system. Launch day, obviously, that's going to come down to the details of what they're going to do. Launch window, picture this. Pokemon Legends. New 3D Mario. New Mario Kart title. Monster Hunter Wilds. With just those four right there, how many Switch 2s you think are going to sell right out of the gate? With just those four games right there, how many Switch 2s you think going to sell out of the gate? A fucking ass of them. An ass load of them. A fucking plethora of the motherfuckers. A plethora of the motherfuckers. It's, if you are a third-party developer and you have the knowledge of what Nintendo is launching with, and they tell you, yeah, we got the new 3D Mario game, we got Mario Kart 9, we got Monster Hunter Wilds, and we got Pokemon. There's no way in hell, as a third-party developer, I'm missing the launch of the fucking Switch 2. There's no way in hell I am missing that. I'm not missing that money train. I'm not missing that gravy train. I know this shit is about to print fucking money. As a third-party developer and as a businessman, I ain't missing the fucking launch of the Switch 2. I'm not. And it's probably the reason why we heard about the demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake running on Switch 2. It's probably the reason why we heard about the Matrix Awakens demo running on Switch 2. These third parties ain't finna miss this gravy train. There's 140 million Switches out there, and some of them are kicking themselves in their fucking ass because they wasn't there at the beginning. And then we have a system that's more than capable, that's actually going to have more modern technology in it than the base Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and the PS5. There's no way I'm missing the launch of the Switch 2. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo really went out their way to make sure everybody was aware of what they were doing. I remember an interview before, I don't know if it was Reggie or Doug Bowser. It was an interview before they revealed that they was talking to Capcom in the early development of the original Switch. And Capcom was actually the company that convinced Nintendo to put more RAM in the Switch because the Switch was actually going to have less RAM than it has now. So if you really think about that, and that should really tell you how deep close Capcom and Nintendo was for them to even have discussions on that type of level. So thank Capcom for the Switch to having the amount of RAM it has in it now, because Capcom is fully responsible for that. So if they deep in the pot in there like that with these developers, and they know what they're doing, and we know we're due for Pacific game titles around the time of the launch of this game, nothing is a stretch anymore. Especially if the system is very capable of having these games on it with little to no effort. Nothing is a stretch anymore. I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 is a stretch. It's definitely the more questionable one that I can put out there of all the games that we have seen so far for 2025. But it's really not out of the question. Simply because of the launch lineup that Nintendo has, you would be a buffoon to not have something ready for the Nintendo Switch 2 when this shit launches in its launch window. You would be a buffoon not to. You would be a buffoon not to. It's not. It just doesn't make any business sense. It makes no business sense at all. If somebody deliberately tries to miss this, I can guarantee you this: 2K ain't gonna miss it. I guarantee you NBA 2K ain't gonna miss a fucking year. 2K been on the Switch since its launch. They ain't gonna miss a fucking year. I fully expect EA to get their shit together, and Madden will probably come back on the Switch, starting with Switch 2. Back to Nintendo, starting with Switch 2. We already know Call of Duty is coming. So picture this. I forgot about Call of Duty and the Call of Duty contract. The Call of Duty contract begins September of this year. The 10-year Call of Duty contract that Nintendo signed along with Sony signing it later begins September 2024. So the launch window of the Switch 2 could potentially look like Pokemon, 3D Mario, Mario Kart, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Call of Duty Black Ops. I don't think I ever seen a launch for a system look like that ever in the history of system launches. And that's just shit that we know for sure that's happening. That's for sure. Like, Monster Hunter is a for sure thing. There's no way Capcom is missing that. Like Nintendo is their biggest moneymaker when it comes to Monster Hunter. That's why fucking Monster Hunter Stories was exclusive to a Nintendo platform. Now they make it in a multi-plat after they done made all the fucking money. So those are the things we know that are happening for sure. And you can't name me a system that had a better launch than that. And that's just 5 games right there. That's just 5 games right there. That would be the greatest launch in the history of games, of gaming consoles. The greatest launch in the history of gaming consoles. without a shadow of a doubt, easily. So that's why I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is not far of a stretch. Not far of a stretch. And it would be a big deal for Grand Theft Auto to finally be up to date on Nintendo platform. You know, Grand Theft Auto has graced Nintendo platforms before, but it's always been at a later date. Outside of Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, which was all exclusive to the DS. But yeah, it's it would be a big win for Rockstar. And you got to think about it. Rockstar has nothing to lose having Grand Theft Auto 6 on Switch in this launch window. They have nothing to lose. Rockstar is going to make their fucking money. They're going to break fucking records when this game come out. They're going to make their fucking money when this game come out. They're in a no lose situation, but they're in a situation where they can gain a whole lot more if they're there in the launch window. So that's what I really want to talk about is launch titles for the Nintendo Switch 2 and what I believe they can be. We also heard a new rumor pertaining to the Switch 2. I think I can actually pull that up for y'all. Where they were saying that Nintendo was gathering trailers from third parties on the Switch 2, which basically tell us that a reveal is probably coming soon, which makes sense. June is not that far away, and we're supposed to be having a direct in April, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's another that insider leak bullshit that I don't like to believe until it actually happens. But yeah, there was a rumor about them actually gathering materials for a big reveal or something like that. So, but the thing is, the longer we wait for this thing, the more beastly the lineup is going to continue to be. I'm gonna say that again. The longer we wait for this thing, the more beastly the lineup of this thing is going to continue to be. I don't think y'all understand that. I really don't. But with those just 5 games I just told y'all right now, there is really no way. There's really no way that as a third-party developer, I would be remiss to miss the Nintendo Switch 2 launch window. I would be a fool to miss that. Especially when Microsoft dived in headfirst before anybody signing a 10-year contract with Nintendo. A 10-year contract for Call of Duty. A lot of people don't realize Call of Duty was really gaining popularity on Nintendo's platform, especially during the Wii. During the era where Call of Duty was mainly played on other platforms. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was a big hit on the Wii U. That probably a bigger hit than we'll ever realize because the Wii U was a catastrophic fucking failure. So there's that. But it was a big hit on the Wii U. And Call of Duty coming back to Nintendo platforms permanently, I think that alone is going to be enough for for third parties to realize that we should probably be there at the beginning on day one and not just sit back and wait this time because it's going to bite us in the ass. So I think y'all should expect a lot of these third parties to really be there day one. I just hope we don't see a lot of just Port City, because that's the one thing you really hate about the launch of a new console. It just be Port City of old games. I don't care about multi-platform releases of new games. That's perfectly fine. But Port City of older shit, that's really what I don't want to see. Some third parties are good for doing that. EA, Ubisoft, to name a fucking few. Even though I think Ubisoft is going to be on their game too, because I mean they released Prince of Persia, the new Prince of Persia game, and I think what, 59% of the sales was on Switch. 59% of the sales of the Prince of Persia game is on Switch. If that don't wake Ubisoft up to be like, yo, your main audience is Switch now. Y'all did so much damage to yourselves over the last 5 to 10 years. Y'all main audience is the Switch now. Y'all just need to make games that Switch players are going to play. That's what y'all need to do from now on, because y'all have ruined your reputation with every fucking thing else. So yeah, we gotta. You got to really sit back and look at how this thing is going to launch and how they're really positioning it to be this mammoth of a launch. And I think it will be that. And knowing Nintendo, they're going to price point it very well. I expect this thing to be $400. Let's get that out the way. $400, that's what it's going to be. We have pretty much confirmation of DLSS technology, so I don't see it being under $400, bro. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening for the architecture and the technology that it takes, that it needs to have the DLSS technology in it. We're probably looking at a $400 console. I don't think it's going to be any less than that. I don't think $300 is going to do it this time. I don't think $350 is going to do it this time. It's going to be $400. So, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that. So I'm gonna say this. And this is me going out on a limb. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm going out on a limb, and I might be wrong with this, but it'll be okay if I'm wrong with it. I'll be fine if I'm wrong with this one. But I'm really leaning towards Grand Theft Auto 6 making it to Switch 2 in 2025 before the year is over with. I'm really feeling that. That's going to be the case. I'm really feeling that. So if you're hoping for something that's lower than $399, just forget it. I'm telling you, it's probably not going to happen, which is perfectly fine, because I think it's priced pretty well for $400 for what this thing is going to be able to do anyway. So you're going to be packing power around the PS5. So it's going to be worth it. And plus, we still don't know what the actual big feature of the console is going to be. That's the main thing. So still got to look out for that. They're going to put some innovative feature in the console. They do it every generation. Every console they release, there's always this situation. We just don't know what it is going to be this time. So hopefully we'll see what it is. But I will not be shocked to see Dragon Ball Sparking Zero as something that's announced for Switch 2. Wouldn't shock me for Marvel 1943. Anything Unreal Engine 5, just go ahead and mark it down for Switch 2. It's Switch 2, because the partnership between EA and Nintendo when it comes to Unreal Engine is stronger, and it keeps getting better as time goes on. So Unreal Engine 5, anything, just go ahead and mark it for Switch 2. It's already there. No matter who's making it. It's there. It's there. So yeah, we almost here to the end of it here. We've been here for a while, so this is the time we're going to take a little bit of questions, Q&A. You got any questions, we're going to feel free to ask at this point in time. And I'll answer some questions for a little Q&A section here. And before we get up out of here. And I think I want to go ahead and actually, I'm not going to do that, because I buy my games physical, and I've been on that kick for a while, and I don't plan on changing it, and I'm going to remain buying my games physical. So I will have to pick up Dragon Dogma in the actual store tomorrow. If you don't know by now why you should be buying your games physical, let the Stellar Blade demo situation teach you a lesson. Let everything Sony been doing in a digital storefront teach you a lesson that you need to be continuing to buy your shit physical and not digital. So I like to own my shit. I like to have a tangible thing. I like a thing that I actually can touch, feel, hold, grab, have in my possession when I buy it. I don't like my shit to be in no cloud. I don't like my shit to be downloaded to no hard drive or SSD. I want to actually have it. So I still buy all my games physical. The only digital game that I buy is Madden, simply because Madden holds no fucking value after a couple months after you buy it anyway. So there's no fucking point buying the physical copy. Sports games hold no value. Their value dropped dramatically after the first few months it comes out, and then it's worthless. You can't even resell it secondhand anyway if you wanted to. So yeah, Madden is the only thing I buy digital. I still even buy Call of Duty's physical, but I haven't bought Call of Duty. I didn't buy Call of Duty last year at all. So I was able to skip Call of Duty. I'm proud of myself because I usually can't skip Call of Duty at all, but I was able to skip Call of Duty this year around. So Q&A, go ahead and you got any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. We're gonna answer some questions for a little bit here in the Q&A section. And while that's going on, you know, I'm gonna let y'all see what was running on the Switch 2 apparently behind closed doors. And it's funny because a lot of people are going to be really ass hurt about this system. I'm gonna tell you this right now, a lot of people are going to be really ass hurt about this system, but yeah. Let's see here. Let's see what question. We're gonna get that Mushroom Kingdom Warriors from. We're gonna get that Mushroom Kingdom Warriors from Koei Tecmo. Nah, bruh. I think they're done with the Warriors game now. I think we did enough. On your screen is the Matrix Unreal Engine 5 demo, the demo that was, you know, actually supposedly showed behind doors running on Switch 2. But we ain't getting no Mushroom Kingdom Warriors. I think the Warrior games are done. There's nothing more you can do. Can't do no more in Hyrule and Zelda. Can't do no more with Fire Emblem. I think the Warrior games are done. I think that collaboration has ran its course. I can't think of another franchise that can actually do something with the Warriors. The Warriors franchise. I don't know. Do you think Legends EA will be like Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness? I think Legends is going to be just like the last Legend game, but on a bigger scale. I think that teaser trailer was very, very telling. The fact that they showed you no gameplay whatsoever gives me hope. Like I was talking about Team Ninja earlier, gives me hope that Game Freak understands that they got to get their shit together and they got to step their game up. The fact that they was hinting so hardly, very hardly at that game taking place all in one city is a step up for them. I think they need to really hone in and focus on something that that they can really hanker down and do a great job with. But the fact of the matter is that they didn't show you anything of that game and it's launching next year. That should have told you that was a Switch 2 cross-gen title. Like, they literally didn't show you nothing of the game. Nothing. So there's two things here. That's definitely a Switch 2 title. And obviously they taken the presentation and the look and the feel of the game very seriously this time around. and they want to please fans. So that's two good things from Game Freak I like to see, because I don't care what none of y'all say. Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, fucking embarrassments to gaming. It's absolute fucking embarrassments, bro. They're absolute fucking embarrassments, man. It's not even cool that they thought it was cool to actually release those things in the state that they were. It's not even cool that they even released those things and thought those were quality games. So, next question. Do you want to see an achievement trophy system on Switch 2? No, I don't. I don't. Achievement and trophies is overrated as fuck. It's like, what's the incentive to an achievement and what's the incentive to a trophy? What do I get from this? Now, if the achievement and trophy system was reworked to where I can get rewards, like I get reward points, you know, on credit cards, or I get frequent flyer miles and there's actually rewards to getting them, then yeah, I would welcome that shit. But there's no rewards to them. There's you get nothing out of it. You get an ugly ass fucking what? You get an ugly ass 720p pixelated fucking trophy, and you just get an achievement unlocked. Like, okay, now what? Oh, nothing happens? Okay, that was fucking pointless. So no. Unless there's actually some reward system for doing this, which, knowing the gaming industry, this is most likely not going to be a thing that you're going to be able to get. So nah, I don't give a fuck about that. It's worthless. It means nothing. It's just worthless as fuck. It means absolutely nothing. If you could choose an IP for Mario to cross over with for a video game, which series would it be? Think like Mario Rabbids. I think Mario Rabbids was a shitty crossover. Some people liked it. I hated it. It was whack. It's funny that you bring up that question, because I remember looking on Twitter, I think it was last week, that Sega revealed they have asked Nintendo multiple times to do a Mario crossover with Sonic, and they said no. And a lot of people got upset on Twitter, because some people was like, duh, I wouldn't fucking say yeah to that shit either. Like, in the Sonic, you know how the Sonic fans are. They the most sensitive, defensive motherfuckers on the planet. So, man, look at this fucking demo, bro. This was running on Switch 2. This is what they were saying that Nintendo was showing people behind doors on Switch 2. This Matrix demo here running on Unreal Engine 5. Insane. So, yeah, there was a story that came out that Sega was asking Nintendo to do a Mario crossover with Sonic, and they kept saying no. And it's like, I know why Nintendo said no, because Sonic is not up to par with Mario. Like, why would you do that? That's kind of like, how can I put this? There's levels to this shit. Okay, there's levels to this. You feel what I'm saying? It's you know, you're not going to see, you know, Link having a crossover game with Jackson Dexter. Like, it's not happening. Like, there's levels to this, and no matter how many people like Sonic or how many people want to be a fanboy for Sonic, Sonic is not on the same level as Mario. He once was many generations ago, but not anymore. So now, to answer your question, crossover I would like to see Mario in for a core game. Honestly, I don't think there is one I want to see. I don't know. Mario is kind of like that character that you don't want him tainted at all. Like, you don't want anything to taint his legacy. And I don't think he would cross over well with anything, with anyone or anything. I just, like, we know the Rabbids games happen. I have no idea how Nintendo said yes to that, but they did. But yeah, I don't see anything. There really isn't anything I would want to for Mario to cross over with. So I would say nothing. I would say nothing because I just really don't. Like, there's nothing in my head where I say, oh man, you know what? This would be dope if Mario did. Nothing's coming up like that. Like, literally nothing, bro. So, sorry, but the answer to your question is nothing. It's nothing. How many millions do you think a Browsette game will? You know what? I'm skipping that question. I don't want to see no fucking Browsette game. I don't want to see that. I don't ever want to see a Waluigi game. Some of these things y'all need to just leave to the internet. Let's put it like that. I don't ever want to see a game like that, ever. My question is, are you going to live stream any games? Dogma, Peach, Madden, Smash, etc. Like, I don't know. I might at some point. I don't know. You know, sometimes, you know, I did it in the past, but some people watch. Sometimes people watch it. Sometimes people don't. So, if y'all request it, then yeah, I could most likely do that shit. But as of right now, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm gonna bring more different content to you. You know what I mean? Now that we finally getting stable with the Hill Truth Live, but as far as live streaming games, that's probably something a little bit more down the line. It's probably something down the line. And the sad thing is, I'm a fucking monster in Madden, so people ain't gonna be able to see me just wreck motherfuckers online. So that's kind of a travesty, to be honest with you. Kind of a travesty. Let's see. Oh man, damn, did I skip a question? No, I didn't skip it. Unlocking themes for achievements would be cool. Yeah, something like that. You got to give me some type of fucking reward to make me care about achievement and trophies. I don't understand why people care about achievement and trophies when they literally do nothing for you. It's like they do nothing for you, bro. It's kind of like completing extra credit for the sake of completing extra credit. It's like, okay, you completed extra credit. Whoop-de-fucking do. Like, all right. Whatever. What? Dark. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there. You gotta explain yourself, Blue Jay. I don't know what you mean right there. I prefer Sonic over Mario. That's just me. Well, you know, y'all Sonic fans are weird like that. So I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. I like, kudos to y'all. Like, y'all love Sonic. I get it. I don't know why y'all so infatuated with him. Like, I used to love the little blue motherfucker when I was younger. When he actually had games that were, you know, and I'm just being honest, I'm giving you the Hill truth. When he actually had games that were at the pinnacle of gaming back then. And we ain't had nothing like that since Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. If we're being wholly honest about Sonic and his career, he dropped out of being the upper echelons in gaming after Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast. And then Sega turned him into a whore. Now he does everything. He does Olympics. He's a Black Knight. Sonic in the fucking secret rings like he in fucking Arabian Nights. He gets unleashed like a fucking werewolf. You know what I mean? He has heroes. He has colors. Now he has frontiers. He's a fucking whore now. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He was pure. He stayed true to being AAA developed. And then Sega turned him into a whore. Like, it is what it you just gotta accept the facts, bro. Like, I accepted it already. I accepted what it is. Yes, he's had success with his movies. I'm happy for that. The movies are actually kind of going in, you know, order of how the first few Sonic games went.
it's getting really good. We're going to get to the third part, and then I'm pretty sure after this third movie, it's going to stop dropping off. So it's like, it is what it is. He had a spark when he started, but now he's just garbage. You know, one of the greatest rappers of all time said that. And that's just honestly where Sonic is. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? That's Sonic lines of work. We need whores in the gaming space. You know what I mean? And Sonic is just one of them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Fortnite is the other whore in gaming. Like, Fortnite just has any character come in and just fuck their whole game. Like, that's what they do. That's what Fortnite does. They the whore. Come fuck me. That's what Fortnite is. They invite anybody in to come fuck them and just fuck up their whole game. And people love it. They still play it. So it's like, we need the whores of the gaming industry. And Sonic is just the number one whore in that gaming industry. It is what it is. I'm sorry to be a little bit vulgar about it, but that's who Sonic is. I have accepted that. You know what I mean? I have accepted that. I have sat through the fucking Sonic Lost Worlds and the Sonic 06 and all the high expectations, and it's never lived up to those because that's not what he is anymore. He's the community whore. That's what he is. That's why he does Olympics. That's why he's a Sonic rider. That's why he's Sonic fucking team racing. He's the whore now. That's what he does. So I've accepted that already. Some of y'all need to go ahead and accept for what he is. But I understand some of y'all are still in denial that this is a Sonic from 1990s, but it ain't no more. You know, and I gave that up. I accepted reality. And one day you guys would accept the reality. It just had to be, I just had to give you the truth about it. I'm sorry to the Sonic fans in the chat, but it's the reality. That doesn't mean that the games are terrible. That just means the games are cool. They're solid. They're okay. They're passable. You know what I mean? The day Sonic gets a game that gets nominated for the game of the year, I will redeem him out of whore status. That will be the day I will say he has returned from the dead. When that happens, when I see a 90+ Metacritic on a Sonic game or Sonic game getting nominated for game of the year, then we can talk about him being back. Until then, he's going to continue his concubine services. He's going to continue to be the escort of the gaming community. So, I mean, the gaming industry, that's who he is. So, now I'm going to go to the next question. Oh, man. I'm trying to make sure I didn't skip nothing here. Oh, man. Okay. I got that one. Yeah, the movie. I love the movies. The movies are really good. So this has nothing to do with the movies. The movies are really, really, really fucking good. I'm not even gonna lie. It's the kid in me enjoys the fucking movies. They are very authentic. They are very true. I'm very happy with these recent video game adaptations of Hollywood films. Because I had to sit through a lot of fucking Resident Evils that was just terrible. So seeing the Sonic movies and the Mario movie really stay true to his gaming roots is very, very good to see. So I have nothing but positive things to say about the Sonic movie. But Sonic, the gaming character, nah, bro. He for the streets. He for the streets, bro. Ain't that what Future said? He for the streets. Any more questions before we go ahead and wrap this live up real quick? Any more questions? We're running a little bit late here, but I like the late. I like the late night Kill Truth, man. This is really a cool thing. I like that. I like it a lot. So any more questions before we go ahead and close this thing out here? Nope. No more questions. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, this Matrix demo is running on the Switch too, apparently. So I'm telling you, Unreal Engine 5 anything expected to be on Switch 2. This demo is fucking insane, by the way. And this demo kind of really lines up to how great Marvel 1943 looks. But I'll say this in closing out. Switch 2 is going to be a monster. Y'all better be ready for it. I don't think y'all ready when y'all ready to see it. Go pick up that Dragon Dogma 2. Capcom has been on a roll. They need to be continued supported for the great work they have done. Hopefully EA takes a page out of their butts and change their asses around. They got Connie Booth now over at EA, so hopefully EA will change their whole company around and be back to the greatness they were back in the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox era. You know, if you want to, go ahead and pick up that Princess Peach Showtime, you know what I mean? I'm gonna pick it up a little bit later after I'm done with Dragon Dogma 2. If you have a PS5, I would say probably skip Rise of the Ronin, but if you ain't got shit else to play, I guess you can go ahead and play that. But you should have something else to play. That's another open world game. It's called Dragon Dogma 2. So Team Ninja, hopefully they get it back together. I hope they could turn it around. So, oh wait, we got one last question before we get out of here. Are these lives on the set schedule, or do you just do them whenever? I really do them whenever. Pretty much when some big news go down, I try to do one. But you know, I be busy, so sometimes they be this late, sometimes they be in the middle of the day. But you know, if you hit that bell icon, hit that subscribe, you know, you'll know when they happen, you know. But I'm gonna try to keep them a little bit more consistent, you know. But anytime any big news drop, I'm always gonna try to get these Heel Truth Lies out. That's for sure. So definitely gonna do that. Yeah. EA, it's in the game. I would love to hear that shit again. Back when they actually meant something. So all I gotta say before I get out of here, that Dragon Ball Z gonna be dope playing on the Switch 2. That Marvel 1943 gonna be dope playing on the Switch 2. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here is this: playing that Grand Theft Auto 6 on the Switch 2 gonna be something epic like a motherfucker.